So on a more serious note, I usually try to stray away from things like this, but I just wanted to enlighten people just for a minute, because like everything else, no matter what, the powers that be will try to divide. They'll try to make sides out of everything. Now, with all this, people wanting to get back to work and all that, and people saying, lives are more important than the economy, blah, blah, blah. Remember, it's not as cut and dry as people would like to think. And people wanting to get the economy back aren't just the rich people wanting to make money. That also the people that, they don't get your fancy stimulus check and they need to feed their children. So there's a lot of sides to all this. And, even if people don't like the idea, it's like you got to make a fucking decision and you got to do what's best for your family and yours. So I would and I'm not saying what way things should be or how anybody should act or think. I'm just saying there's more of it's not just a black and white thing. There's a whole shitload of gray area there. And, I myself, and, if we want to get personal for a minute, I myself, are in a situation, we're not in a position where we get any governmental aid or anything like that. I mean, we're the type where we're, try to be self-sufficient as much as possible, but, there's times in life where you're kind of flying by the seat of your fucking pants. And you got to kind of go with the flow, and you got to make decisions as they come to you. And the one thing that you're going to do as a parent is you're going to make the decisions that is best for you and your fucking family and keeping them alive and well and healthy. So, to all those, people that want to shun everybody that wants to go back to work, you be thinking about the fact that nobody wants to get sick, nobody wants any of that, but they also don't want to watch their kids go fucking hungry and watch their houses get foreclosed on, or their landlords just say, nope, sorry, we don't, there's no corona stipulation in this fucking lease, pal. So, I would just say people need to, not let the powers that be divide them so much and think that it's that cut and dry, because it's not. And I think that we all have opportunities to kind of band together and realize that this is a problem for humans, period. Okay? And germs and viruses and all that, they don't give a fuck who you vote for. They don't at all. And so get that shit out of your head and try to be a little bit more understanding of people that are on the other end of this scale, that they don't want to get sick, but they don't want to watch their kids fucking starve. So with all that being said, just do like how we do in our music community, man. Come together and try to, help each other out as best we can, and try to, try to see everybody's angles. I know the internet doesn't like it when people do that, but hey, let's not let the internets or the powers that be decide our fate. Okay? Okay. I had a couple more tidbits, and then I wanted to get into some music news. But my little conspiracy theory here, not really, it's just kind of funny. But the whole thing with UFOs and all that, and it's been gaining more and more ground on evidence and stuff like that. Now the government releases a bunch of declassified stuff and actual footage that they have of UFOs and chasing these things down, and just the insane stuff that these things are doing and speeds. But my little funny conspiracy theory is, you know, if you don't want the public to have mass hysteria over the fact that, you know, that there could be UFOs coming to Earth and that we're not alone, you get them all hyped up and scared about germs and shit, so they don't. It's like UFOs are like, I got germs and shit to worry about right now, man. I'm hiding in my house from viruses, so I can't be bothered with your UFOs and all that stuff. So yeah, it's just kind of ironic that government finally says, yeah, here's some footage, and no one really gives a shit. So, on to some music news. Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull, the frontman of Jethro Tull, is battling an incurable lung disease. He had just spoken about this on a TV interview overseas there, and we definitely wish him well and all that. There's more stuff about it over on Loudwire and Blabbermouth and all them places. It has nothing to do with the current situation or anything. This is something that he has been, and somebody that has used their lungs for a living the way that he has. This has such a sad sense of irony to it, that a person that has revolutionized and put into people's heads the things that you can do with a flute. It's, you know, it's sad, and we obviously we wish him well, and definitely go blast some Jethro Tull, and yeah, in honor of our man Ian Anderson, that's given us just tons of killer music throughout the years. I saw Jethro Tull a lifetime ago, and it's one of them experiences you never forget, because it's not like any show that you'll ever see in the way that they did things. At least when I saw them, and you know, there was a time where they brought out a little table with a chair, and he sat with a cup of tea playing the flute, and he asked her, "Care if I have a spot of tea?" And everybody, of course, was fine with that, and he sat there and played the flute and did all these, but the guy, you know, he really it's like, who knew flute could be so metal? And he really did change the landscape for a lot of putting a lot of sounds and stuff in music that you know, has definitely changed the landscape yet again. So once again, we wish him well and all that. Now on the other end of everybody's you know, fears of the current weather conditions and everything, Shinedown is announcing that they're not afraid, and they plan on touring this summer, and good for them. I definitely hope that we need, you know, I'm not going to get, you know, the too into it, but we do need to start living our lives, and you can't be living in fear because of germs, because if I started telling you the shit that's out there right now that you could get at any minute, you'd all just stay locked up in your fucking houses. But no, we don't do that. We live our lives, and we're conscious about what we do, what we touch, and putting our fucking hands in our mouths and rubbing our eyeballs after we've been touching things that other people touch. So with that being said, just be mindful of your space and your surroundings and what you're touching and what you're you know, around. That's it. That's what you do in life, period. And you know, you teach that to your children. I know people that are out there listening right now. It's like, this is kind of like what we've been teaching our kids since they were fucking started putting shit in their mouths. it's, you know, a lot of this, I understand, and we want to keep each other safe and all that, but let's also live our fucking lives and go out and have some fun. And we can do both. We can. So, yes, for the sake of friggin' venues and all that are going to be forced to close down for good. No coming back. No stimulus, fancy dancy fucking check for them. Nope. Nada. Zero. Fucking zilch. Nothing. So, you know, and those places have staff. They have all the things that regular places do to run that place and make sure that you get entertained and all that and everybody's safe and all those things. You know, we need to, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, tell people what they should and shouldn't do, but, you know, it's kind of, if we want these places to survive, we need to use them. That's just the way it is. And, you know, like Elon Musk had just said, if you're not making stuff, then there's no stuff. And we can't survive. So there has to be, you know, a little happy medium there. And we need to be able to get our heads fucking straight. And again, remember your rights and all that as well. But big shout out to Shinedown. I hope you're setting a trend, and I hope everybody goes and checks out Shinedown. Actually, they get some newer stuff out as well. Also, I had mentioned earlier about the platforms Minds and BitChute, both decentralized platforms and using blockchain technology, which to the novice, that means basically nothing. To you, it's just the mechanics and the engines behind the scenes that are running all this isn't like the regular stuff, like for Facebook and all that. It's a decentralized thing using, you know, blockchain technology. So it operates a little differently. Well, it operates the same to the user, but as far as its mechanics behind the scenes, it's a lot different. But all that aside, BitChute is a YouTube-like platform that has just, it's been slowly really gaining traction and getting a lot of steam going. And then just this past weekend, like that, there was over 2 million new users to this platform. So with that being said, any of you bands out there, anybody might want to go set up an account and at least get a foothold in these places, have a presence. You don't need to spend your time there. And with BitChute, it will help you set it up so anything that you do on YouTube just automatically gets mirrored to your BitChute. So, and there are people leaving YouTube, Facebook, and all that in droves every time there's these types of situations where the powers that be clamp down on speech. People jump ship and they go to places that don't do that. And whether they're deleting their accounts outright or they're just going somewhere else, it stands to reason that you should be where the people are. And there's the tons of people and there's growing audiences, and think about this for a second. There's whole new generations that are getting into this social media that they don't want to do the old folks home Facebook stuff. They're on the other end of stuff. Now, I would never recommend TikTok because it's got all sorts of security issues. That's another story for another time. But there are tons of other platforms out there that you should be making a presence on. And, even if you don't want to use these primarily, you should at least have a presence. So, go check out BitChute. Mine's is just pretty much like Facebook and Twitter mixed together. We are on all these platforms as well. So if you want somebody to say, hey, what's going on? We'll be right there. Any questions or anything like that? But I highly suggest diversifying and getting out there, and at least look, if the whole shithouse goes up in flames, you want to have another place to fall back on. And well, there you go. So I hope that was helpful and all that. Yeah, go check out minds.com and BitChute. Speaking of bands on other platforms and stuff like that, Trawl. They have a kick-ass podcast that you need to go check out. They got it over on Anchor.fm, Spotify, all the other places. You can go right over to their Facebooks and all the other places, their Twitters, just all the places. And go get hooked up with this brand new podcast. I think they're 7 deep right now, so you got plenty of material to get caught up, and they are churning these puppies out pretty much weekly. So definitely go check out Trawlcast. Another band, I'm going to be shelling out some summer tour dates, Guns N' Roses. We had just talked about how they got a children's book coming out and all that, but they have some tour dates and all that. They'll be releasing more, obviously, as time goes on and all that. But yeah, go check out Guns N' Roses and see what they got going on for announcements. I had one more musical tidbit today. In fact, actually, it's a bit of a gripe. I was mentioning in chat, you know, Spotify makes an awful lot of money off other people's music. And, you know, it's great that there's a platform where all these bands, independent bands, can be put on the same platform and in playlists with multi-platinum recording artists and all that. It's a pretty neat thing you got there, Spotify. I'll give you that. I've had my gripes and stuff. I still do. But overall, there's a lot of good that can come out of Spotify. If it's a tool that bands can use to help progress them and get them out there, that's awesome, especially, you know, if it can work for them. All that being said, y'all make way too much fucking money to not be giving bands URLs. Come on. Look at you. I mean, come on. You got YouTube and you got all these other platforms that take on way more content than you do. You can spring for some server type situation type, I don't know what. Get your friggin' nerds on it and get some URLs to these bands. There's no reason that bands shouldn't be able to have URLs, just like you can have, I mean, if it needs to be like they have to gain so much of an audience thing, fine. That's what YouTube does. After like 100 or so subscribers, you get to have your own personalized URL. That makes perfect sense. Why waste the time in the URL if they're just going to be a flash in the pan and never come back? But if you got somebody that's, you know, a part of your platform, man, and they've been on there or a certain time limit, give them a URL. That, you know, hey, this is all my opinion. I'm not the brains behind the whole operation. I'm not even the brains behind the operation on my own damn show. That shit just happens. I don't even know what the... But, yeah. So, maybe there's some peeps we can talk to, or maybe some of them, one of them, you know, change.org petitions, maybe. I don't know. But, definitely... Be thinking about that there, Spotify overlords. If you like what you saw here, you found any of this enlightening, you can always check out more stuff over here. You can follow the links and get caught up with all of the stuff that we got going on. You can find us over on all your favorite social spots. Everybody out there, treat each other decent, and see you next time.